Tell me Westcoast Rob, man. And welcome to my podcast, You Bitch. The thoughts, views, and opinions you hear on this show are just that. Thoughts, views, and opinions from not only myself, but from my guests. So if you don't like them, disagree with them, or whatever the case may be, well, there's a simple solution to all that, and that's just stop listening. But if you care to partake in the conversation, sit back, turn it up, and enjoy the show. YeahDat. All right, we are live, and we're back with another episode of the YeahDat podcast, hosted by yours truly, Westcoast Rob. And today's special guest is someone who I kind of ran up on and was very intrigued to get her on the podcast. And I'll allow her to introduce herself. And if you would, Miss Pixie. And now it's frozen.
Oh no. Oh gosh.
Technical
Ugh.
difficulties.
How do I get back into the studio?
What is going on?
Of course, anything that could go wrong will go.
Welcome back to another episode of the YeahDat podcast, hosted by yours truly, Mr. Papa Giorgio himself, West Coast Roberto. Thank you for tuning in. YeahDat. Oh, the last episode 26, was me. Actually, there was no guest. It was me. We went over, Black History Month, Super Bowl, Valentine's Day, knowing your culture, knowing your history, communication, etc., etc. For those of you who already listened to the episode and are all caught up and want me to get to this one, big fist up. Shout out to y'all. YeahDat. For those of you who aren't yet, go back to that episode, check it out. Let me know what you think. Drop some comments in the comment section of whatever platform you're listening to this on, and get a homie some feedback. YeahDat. But how's everyone doing out there? Shout out to everybody out there who listens, who likes the post on Instagram, who likes it on Twitter, who likes it on TikTok, who watches it on YouTube. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everyone out there. I appreciate the love and support. And we only get better. You know what I mean? We only get better. Changes with different episodes, but that's just me trying to find my right niche, my right flow, my right feeling. You know what I'm saying? So thank you out there for the support, and thank you to all the loyal listeners, viewers out there. I truly love y'all for that. So episode 26, like I said, we covered a lot of things. Episode 27, I have a special guest. She has 20 plus years in the adult entertainment industry as a stripper. I don't like to say, I don't know if stripper is kind of like downgrading or like kind of like derogatory or whatever. So Pixie, drop me a line, let me know. But she has 20 plus years as an exotic dancer, as an adult entertainer. Her name is Pixie, and today she gives us the ins and outs of what it's like being an adult entertainer. She had a ball doing it, just there's always that negative connotation of strippers not really liking their job, not really wanting to do it, but Pixie had a blast doing it. She's recently retired, and now she hosts her own podcasts, which are very successful. So shout out to Pixie. So her podcasts are Pixie Project Pod, and Next on Stage One, in which she co-hosts with Mr. J, who also has experience in the adult entertainment industry. So stay tuned and check out the episode with my special guest Pixie, and check out how we discuss the ins and outs of adult entertainment and what it's like to be in that world doing that job, etc., etc. And I will catch you all on the back end. Enjoy the episode. YeahDat.
We'll go to Zoom. It'll be fine.
Okay. It was rolling until I said, "Okay, go ahead, Pixie," and then it was just like frozen.
And now it's doing it again. Oh, there we go. Hold on. We
No,
need to
you're
we need to let it breathe. Don't
yeah.
do anything. Okay. Yeah, now it's gone. So let's restart.
All right. Take two. Welcome back to another episode of the YeahDat podcast, hosted by yours truly, Westcoast Rob. And like I said before, we had some technical difficulties. I ran up on my guest the other day, actually, and I was intrigued by her description and her profile. She's a fellow podcast host, so I will allow her to introduce herself. If you would, please, Miss Pixie,
Well,
introduce
thank you,
yourself.
Westcoast Rob. My name is
Hey.
Pixie, and I am the host of Next on Stage One. I actually have 3 different podcasts, but Next on Stage One is my main spicy podcast where
Okay.
I have 23 years in the adult industry, and some people don't like to talk about sex. Some
Yeah.
people like to sweep it under the rug, and
Mm-hmm.
I've had nothing but a fantastic time in 23 years. I've only been hit with a chair. My teeth are only fake in the front. Only gotten into a couple of fights where my hair has been ripped out. It's no biggie,
Hey,
no biggie.
light stuff, light stuff.
Whatever. It's
Cool.
life.
Hell yeah. Right on. That is a long time.
It is a
So
long time.
before we dive into all that, where are you from? Where are
I'm
you what was
from
your life like?
Denver, Colorado. Let's
Okay.
see. Yeah. I currently live in the house that I grew up in, and it's very small and cozy, like
Okay.
664 square feet cozy.
Okay. Tiny
So
tiny
yeah,
home type stuff.
tiny home, tiny stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I grew up fast. I grew up hard. I started my entertaining career back when I was 18 with a brand new baby.
Oh, well, all right. Well,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what you gotta do. And
Yeah.
at
You gotta do
18,
what you gotta do.
I thought I knew what I know. I
Yeah.
thought I knew what was sexy, and I thought this has got to be the easiest job. They're not doing anything. They're strutting around in heels and they're picking up cash. I could do that. I can
Yeah.
do that. Yeah. And
so so it's an art to exotic dancing and all that stuff. Some people don't think it is. So is it as easy as people think it is, or is it difficult?
well, you got to tell me, and I want your listeners to think about this. Have you
Mm-hmm.
ever imagined standing in front of a crowd of people and they're all naked, right? And how that makes you feel,
Mm-hmm.
right? But this
Yeah.
time, you're the one naked and men are shoving dollar bills down your butt crack. Could you handle this
mm.
for for at least 6 hours going up on stage once an hour for 2 to 3 songs?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Throw me in
Well,
that situation. Maybe.
men dancing is a little different. So women, they glide, they're
Yeah.
beautiful, they're seductive. Men are very powerful and strong. So it's a different kind of like dancing. So
Yeah.
it does. I'm not going to say it's for everybody because I know a lot of guys that could not get up on stage. I know a lot of
Yeah.
females that could not get it basically chews you up and spits you out because it does take a certain kind of gumption, a certain kind of like will to just get up there and do it. So it's not really it's something I would suggest if you have other alternatives, go do that instead of dancing. It really wears on a person.
So you danced for 23 years?
23 years, yeah. I
Holy
yeah.
moly. Now, was it
It
all in like your local hometown in Denver, or was it like
Yep,
Vegas,
yep.
or really?
No, I never did the circuit. I never did any really big clubs. The biggest club I ever did was Shotgun Willie's. So
Hmm.
some people might know where that's at.
Okay,
Yeah,
I've been to Denver. I love Denver. My
yeah,
where is Fort Collins? So I have a
yeah.
buddy lives in Fort Collins. He goes to Colorado State, and I have a buddy from Aurora. So I've been up there, so they may know that place. I'll
Oh,
ask them
they're
about it.
probably like, yeah.
So, what was your stage name on there?
Pixie. Pixie's
Okay.
I've only had 2 stage names. Pixie was my main stage name, and then, when I briefly worked at another club that had somebody had taken my name,
Hmm.
I had to switch it, and I switched it to, Quinn, like the Mighty Quinn.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. If you
So,
remember Daria,
oh, of
Quinn was her s
course.
Quinn was
Yeah.
her sister. She was
Yeah.
the dumb
No.
one always on her phone and like,
Yeah.
yeah. Very
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
sarcastic. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So when you started that venture, like what were the thoughts of your family members?
I didn't tell them. I nobody really
Oh.
knew. Yeah, they didn't know. My mom didn't know till I was already in my 30s. My father, he jokingly said, you know, if if you don't like where you're waitressing at, because that's what I told everybody that I was a
Yeah.
waitress. I know a club called Shotgun Willie's, and there's some pretty ladies there that we could get you a job if you'd like. I was like, thanks, Dad. Now I know
As a
never
waitress.
to, yeah, now I know never to step back in that club ever again. So, yeah, in the beginning, it was basically, I didn't, after I turned 18, my mom and family kicked me out with a baby. So I had to,
Okay.
so I didn't really have anybody that I had to tell what was going on.
Yeah.
Sent my child to babysitter during the day, and then at night, I'm there at home. So it
Okay.
was, in the beginning, it was really beneficial for both me and my child, and I was able to afford a house, a car, all of my luxuries, and not be on somebody else's dime. And so
Yeah.
that was the I was like, I'm never going to go work for a meaningless job ever again when I could dance and talk to people and dress exactly how I want all of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, a little freeing there.
Hey, that's awesome though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had to do what you had to do. So did you just work days and that was it, or did you work like the busy time at night,
I
weekends?
In the beginning, I only worked during the days, but as I progressed as a dancer, I got
Hmm.
better, and cuz it does take a little while to become a better dancer. So when I felt that I was comfortable enough, I switched clubs. I went from one club to another club, and then progressed and grew as a dancer. So
Hmm.
my baby stripper dancer years were in a hole in the wall juice bar where there was no alcohol.
Oh
So,
wow.
yeah.
Okay. Was
Yeah.
that BYOB or just
No, not a BYOB. It was
nothing?
just a juice bar. Yeah,
Oh
you
wow.
sat down with a customer and they bought you a glass of juice, and depending on how big the glass of juice was, like there was like these big margarita looking ones,
Yeah.
that it was the time you spent with a customer. So if they're buying
Wow.
you a $5 drink, you're gonna sit there probably about 5 minutes. If they buy
Okay.
you a bigger drink, it's 30, and
Yeah.
so, and that was how that they did their lap dances. It wasn't lap dances, it was an extra stage that it was
Hmm.
more personal. It was
Okay.
it was basically a stage
Like
dance. Yeah,
okay.
and and these guys are paying way too much juice money.
Man, that's pretty unique. I've never heard of that before. That's pretty unique.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
the club is another club now. It got absorbed, and it's actually a popular club in Denver now. But when I
okay.
worked there, it was a one stage, hole in the wall dive bar.
Okay. So then when you progressed to the other club, was that a full on exotic dancing stripping
They
club?
they were all like the first. club, that was an
Yeah.
exotic dancing club. It had
Okay.
different rules, it was full
Hmm.
nude. So that was a little
Okay.
scary. Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting ready to ask you that.
well,
Yeah.
in Colorado, if they serve alcohol, it can only be topless.
Oh, okay.
So, it was one of those ways that you could be in the club, in that particular club, and be 18 as a guy. It was one of
Oh,
those that
right.
there's only a couple of clubs that are full nude. Has always been it has always been you can go into a full nude club when you're 18, whether you're a guy or a girl.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I've been in a couple that have been full, and I've been into some that's just topless. I prefer the full. Just I mean, it's the whole experience, you know. But yeah,
Yeah,
I was getting ready to
it's
ask you
all
that.
it's all comfort and preference. I prefer topless, not completely nude,
Uh
but
huh.
it is what it is. Back when I was
Yeah.
18, I was like, look at me. If I really had worked how when I go back and I look at my photos,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I'm amazing. Look how pretty I am." And then 10 years ago, "Look how pretty I am." You kind of get into this mindset like if I would have known better, I would have saved more money, but I was using it to pay bills. I was using it to take
Yeah.
care of myself and to take care of my child. Like I was just living the life and having a great time. It was always just a blast.
Well, I mean, that's good that you had fun doing it. You know what I mean? It's like the perception is like, well, ladies do it because it's like, oh, I have no other option and I need to do this because the money's good and it sucks and it's creepy dudes or whatever. But it
It
doesn't seem like it's coming from you.
it is what you make of it. You spend your time how you want. If you don't want to
Yeah.
talk to creepy dudes, walk over there. Just get up and leave. I mean, we live
Yeah.
in a society that in a strip club, the woman has the power. She can talk to
Oh,
who she
yeah.
wants, especially if she's beautiful. She can do a lot of things that she wants to do, and guys will just run around chasing her with money, and you're so
Yeah.
you're only as miserable as you're going to make yourself. And if you think it's going to be miserable, then don't do it. You don't have to be in a job that you hate. You don't you could work at McDonald's if that's what makes you happy. Do that.
That's
But
true.
I mean, it's it's all perception. It's all how we view the world through our own lens. And
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is.
That's cool. So when you left the Juice Bar Club and went to the other one, was that fully nude or was that topless?
It was topless from there on out. And
Okay.
cuz it's topless, Colorado mandates you to wear
Hmm.
two thongs at all times.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Like at the same
it's what
time?
at the same time,
What?
layers. Just we're
Wow.
we're like we're like onions. We're very
Wow.
interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, there's a lot of weird things. Well, the reason why you have to wear two is because it's a health safety regulation and they don't want
Yeah.
any accidental pubes getting into somebody's drink. So
Oh,
I was like,
okay.
"What?"
Okay. So what does like a daily income look like on a slow night and a fast night? And then like a
Okay, so
weekly income.
the slowest night was $13 because nobody came in. There
Okay.
was three of us. So for the 6 hour span of a work shift, because my club that I came from, you had to be there from the start to the end. So you couldn't even leave
Yeah.
if you wanted to.
Wow.
You didn't pay anything, so you just showed up. And if nobody shows up, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I got tipped $13, and that was probably pity money because there was
Oh.
nobody else. One guy tipping three girls.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
I've done a pity
And
tip before.
pity tip.
Yeah. Oh.
Tip early and tip often because they're there and they deserve it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but on average, just like a Monday through Wednesday, like the slow nights, it's anywhere from $200 to probably $500, and then
Okay.
the weekends are going to be higher than that. And it all depends on club and
Yep.
your location. So if you're, say, cheerleaders or shotgun willies downtown Denver, if you're there
Hmm.
on a fantastic, high night like a Friday or a Saturday where everybody's there, yeah, you're going to make some good money, especially if
Yeah.
you're young and you're beautiful and you know how to talk to people. That's what I really like about the adult entertainment, about dancing, is that you the good ones would look you in the eye. The good ones could
Hmm.
hold a conversation, whether she was having an off day or not. She's having a good time and you want to be there because she's going to tell you some ridiculous stories.
Yeah. Okay. So you get your tips and you dance. So
Mhm.
did you do it to where? Because I've been to a couple where it's like multiple girls on like one big stage. What have you ever been in that scenario? And if that's the case, like, do you like split the tips evenly, or how does
You
the divvy
always
up?
split the tips evenly, because if you're going to be a douchebag, I don't know if I can say that word on your
No, yeah, you
podcast.
can. Yeah, yeah,
If you're going to be a douchebag and you're going to take money out of another person's mouth or
yeah,
pockets, they're going to remember that. They're going to remember that, and they're not going to work with you.
yeah.
Yeah, you split your tips. You make sure you tip your DJ. You make sure you tip your doorman. You make sure you tip your bartender, because those are the people that help you. If
Hmm.
if two other dancers danced with you and they did just as hard as work as you did, they deserve what the split is. So you
Yeah,
don't get to just be like, "Oh, here's an extra 20. I'm going to keep that." No.
yeah.
You split it evenly cuz you're not a douchebag. Well, I mean, I'm not a douchebag.
No, yeah. Of course, of course.
But
Not
yeah,
everybody's as nice.
I've done private parties where we split the money. I've done bachelor parties. I've done birthday sets where you get a guy coming up on stage and you dance for him, and then everybody that goes up on stage with you, all the other dancers,
Hmm.
whatever's whatever's tipped to the girls on the stage, we all split the money. So yeah.
Okay, okay. What's it becoming a stripper? How is that process? Is it like, oh, hey, you show up like, can I strip, or is it like a tryout? Like, how does that whole process work?
Well, you gotta walk through the door first, right?
Of course.
You have to have your two forms of ID. They need to know that you are of legal age. They need to know that you're there to actually be working. So, especially if they're serving alcohol. If you're underage,
Hmm.
they're not going to serve you alcohol, but they still need to know how old you are, cuz you could
Right.
be 21, you can be 18 and 21, a topless bar,
Hmm.
if you're not drinking as a
Right.
dancer. You
Right.
can't be that if you're a guy, but you can be that if you're a girl. So you basically walk in, you have your outfit, your two thongs, you got your sort of stripper heels, and um got your dance bag. Hopefully you've done your makeup before you walk in. So at least you don't look like a homeless person coming off the street. And you're going to talk with who's ever the manager on staff,
Uh-huh.
and usually it's not going to be a general manager. It's just going to be like the doorman, and he's going to say, "All right, well, I need you to go in and you need to go talk to my boss, which will be like the shift
Yeah.
manager." And
Hmm.
then from there, they either size you up. They're like, "Oh, all right, maybe there might be some potential." And then if it's a slow night, yeah, you're going to get up there and you're gonna dance. But if it's
Dang.
a busy night and they have too many girls, they might turn you away. You might have to
Okay.
come during the day to do an interview, and it's the interview is, they want to see what you physically look like before you get up on stage. They want to assess to make sure that you don't have any really bad tattoos on your body, or just you're missing something. Something's going on. You know,
Yeah.
they tell you to go in the back room, you get dressed, and then you come out and you check in with that manager, and the manager will tell the DJ, and then the DJ will run you through like the house rules. This is what you need to do. This is I want you to stay at the stage. until the next girl gets there, those kind of things that strippers eventually learn.
Yeah.
And then you're given two songs. You're given your first song, you dance, and then your second song, you take your top off. And some girls, they never take their top off because it's a little nerve-wracking. And
Hmm.
during that time, the manager is going to see, are you dancing? Are you
Yeah.
playing on your phone? They want to know, are you going to be able to attract people to your stage even if there's nobody there? Uh, it's
Okay.
it's really a showmanship at that point, because you could
Yeah.
be the prettiest girl and might not get the job because you suck at dancing.
Right.
But they do give a little bit of leeway. You can teach a girl how to dance. You can't teach a girl how to have a personality.
Yeah, that's true. So that's crazy. So you the first day you go in there ready to go.
Yep,
Like
yep.
like
And
wow.
And they'll ask you that if you have all of your papers in line and they put you up on stage, they'll either tell you, "Okay, what days can you work?" or "Would you like to stay?" And if they tell you what days you can work, it pretty much means you have the job.
Yeah.
Sometimes if they don't they'll put you down easy. They'll say, "Currently, we're not really hiring right now. Um, if you wouldn't mind, come back in a couple of months and try again."
Hmm. Okay.
So,
All right.
and Colorado's an at-will state, so they don't have to give you a reason why they didn't hire you. They're just
Yeah.
like, "We're just not hiring right now." And it's a letdown, but I mean, it happens. Like,
Yeah.
not everybody's top shelf material.
Yeah.
So, you just take it with a grain of salt and you learn how to dance, and you can go to pole classes. You can have your friends teach you how to dance. You can sexily seduce your significant other if you want to learn how to dance better.
So what did you do? Did you just like was it
Oh,
like on the
I had,
whim?
oh, it was terrible. Okay, so my first night, well, first day. So I thought I had everything, right? So I had these big old chunky wedged heel,
Uh-huh.
like they look like prom shoes because
Okay.
I was 18. I didn't
Yeah.
really know. They were a little loose. They had the little black straps and everything. They were not stripper shoes. And then I thought I would be sexy, and I got instead of getting a thong, I had full black sheer see-through panties
Uh-huh.
on the back, so
Okay.
you could see my butt in the back.
Yeah. Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and so I had the chunky wedges, the see-through panties, and then I had a baby doll where it was like the triangle top with the little flooshy. So
Yeah.
so I
Okay.
thought, yeah, what you see in Austin Powers, the
Yeah, yeah.
robots where they got the pink ones.
The
Well, mine was all
fembots.
black. Yeah, the
Yep.
fembots. So I had this on, and I like, I'm telling you, I probably weighed probably 100 pounds soaking wet with rocks in my pockets. 5 foot,
Oh, okay.
big boobs, no ass. I was like doe-eyed and excited about what I was doing, and I get up there and you walk down the little runway, and everything in the it's one stage, and everything in this whole strip club, it's dark and dingy and red, and there's like shag carpet everywhere. and
Ugh.
and they have the big booths with the big red
Yeah.
vinyl booths, so if you sat on it and you weren't wearing like something to cover your butt, your butt is sticking to the
Sticking.
vinyl. Oh, oh, and then it
Nice.
had this little itty bitty rail around the stage. So there was nothing really to hold on to. Had one pole in the middle of the stage, and you'd walk down the runway, try not to fall off either side, in big old clunky heels, and I got this. All right, I get up there, and I'm dancing. I think it was like something like "Hot for Teacher," the the classic like butt rock songs,
Yeah, yeah.
it, you know, I'm dancing, I'm smiling, I'm having a good time, and I look down, and there's a guy, one creepy dude. He's down at my stage, and they sit down and they look up at you, and he's got his jacket up, and he's just like, he's just looking at you like this, and he slides his $20, towards you, and he's like, yeah. and he's just like staring at you, and you're just like, ah, try not to freak out or anything. And then, but you only see one of his hands. You're like, what is? Oh
Oh.
yeah, I swear that guy was. Oh.
Hmm.
So so then you like, oh thank you, and you take the money, and you're like, ah. And I got down, and they're like, oh that was great, that was fantastic. But next time you dance, you have to take your panties off. the the whole time I was all like, I don't know if I'm gonna do this or not. And eventually, it got easier because there
Yeah.
wasn't any pressure. I didn't have to drink. Um, I kept my innocence mostly.
Good.
so it
That's
was
good.
so it was a lot of fun. It was easy going. Um, I mean, it was day shift at a strip club. It
Yeah.
really is like bottom, like easy entrance. You know,
Yep.
I made my own schedule. I had fun with it. I got to learn a lot of stuff. The first shocker was buying stripper heels. Stripper
No,
heels are like $60 a pair, and then
yeah.
if they break, it's and they don't last very long. They last about 3 months, and then they break. So
And they're
you're
like
constant, yeah,
specific heels for that?
constantly, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Well,
Wow.
you could go fancier ones, but the base model is like $60 for stripper heels. And you're lucky if you could borrow stripper heels from somebody else, but then
Yeah.
that's kind of gross because it's somebody else's feet in the shoes.
Yep. Oh yeah. So what's the relationship like? You like guys, we hear the stories of the ladies in the back, how it's always kind of tension. They don't really get along. Is that true?
Yeah, well, yes and no. It's like
Okay.
high school drama. Everybody's got their little cliques. Everybody's got their little like different kind of wavelengths. Who hangs out
Hmm.
with who? You got your two types of pretty girls. You got your super bitches, and then you
Yeah.
got your cool just like the star of the show. You know,
Okay.
every shift has one girl that's she's if she's really pretty, she's either pretty and nice, or she's pretty and she'll cut you.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. You know, I wasn't there. I'm the funny one. I'm the one that tells the jokes. I'm the one that causes the trouble. I'm the one that gets other people in trouble. So I'm at my height, I was like an 8. So I wasn't like top tier, but I was having fun.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the kind of person you want to hang out with instead. Like
Of course.
the number 1 girl, she's gonna make all of the money. Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, and then 2 and 3, they're gonna probably be hanging out with her. And then you got 4, 5, and 6. You know, they're having fun. They're communicating with a whole bunch of people. You'll see them do a lot of like rotation. They're talking to
Yeah.
people. They're making the connections. They're doing all this kind of stuff. And then you got your newbies and your bottom tier girls. And realistically, it just makes for some interesting discussions. Women in the back room of strip clubs, we're dirty. We are just as dirty as any locker room talk. We're talking penises, we're talking this and that, and it's just like if you it's just girls. It's just
Yeah.
they're a little different. The discussion's just a little different, but it's the same.
Okay.
It's it's cattiness sometimes, especially if a girl stepped on another girl's toes or stole a customer. You know, there's
Mm.
things like that that happen.
Yeah.
Happens all the time. You know, there's always going to be shady people in the strip club, whether it's a dancer or a customer. But
Yeah.
for the most part, it's usually a lot of fun.
Okay. Okay. So, question when it comes to so like you do your set and
Mhm.
you're down on the floor. Now it's time to
Be
recruit.
sexy.
Yeah, yeah, recruit guys. Like, oh, you want to dance? What what was your your way of doing so? Because I've been in
so
there a couple times when it's like, no,
so I was taught from the early stages is that you don't ask for a drink. You
okay,
don't ask for a lap dance.
yeah,
You always initiated contact. You always talked to them. You always did the eye. You wanted to make sure you got their name before you started grinding on them. And so it was like it was about the long game instead of the right here right now.
Yeah.
And you could kind of initiate. You could be like, "Oh, this is a lot of fun. It'd be a lot more fun is if we could go spend some time on the couch. You make it fun, you make it easy. Um, the direct approach does work, especially on day shift. Most of
Hmm.
those guys are just in there. They only got 30 to 45 minutes. They want a lap dance and they want to leave and possibly, a beer.
Yeah.
Those kind of guys, they're totally all about the get in and get done.
Yeah.
Um, but at night, it's a little different. You want to schmooze people. You want to get them to know you. You want to talk to them. Maybe bring them up to stage. Maybe see what they're about. See if they'll buy you a drink without you asking them. Have a conversation because a lot of girls will just get a drink from a guy, shoot it, and then run away.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
he's not going to spend any more money on you. You just ran away with $7 of his money.
Yeah. For
So
real.
yeah. And I know girls who drink $20 shots and run away. Almost like, "What are you doing?
Oh.
Get back over there. He just bought you a shot." Yeah.
So is
Get
like so.
I
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
was going to say that's a younger generation kind of thing. The younger
Makes
girls,
sense.
they're kind of a little bit more entitled, so you'll see a lot of, depending on the age of the dancer,
Yeah.
how they hustle. Older girls, more more classy, I like to say, instead of older, more
Yeah.
classy girls will they're gonna work you. They're going to tell you you smell beautiful. They're gonna rub your shoulders. Oh, you look tense. They got so many different things because they're trying to make you feel welcome and wanted. You don't want to hear, "Oh, my bills are due. I need you to pay this bill." From an older girl, you're not going to get that. You're going to
Right.
get she's going to want to talk about you. A younger girl, she's like, "Oh, my phone bill's due," that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll see the way that different girls hustle.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't been in one in like a while, but I've experienced the ones you were talking about, like the older type who kind of want to kind of conversate and all that stuff. And me personally, like I appreciate those. Like I'll be in there and I will like sit down and actually get to know the actual person, and then
Mhm.
say, all right, let's go, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
No, So it was like say you have a guy and you sit down, you get to know him or whatever, and he goes in the back. Is he like a target? Like, do you keep going back to him, or is it kind of like
They're all targets, Rob. They're all targets. Uh,
that's what's
you're
up?
there you're there to make sure that the guy leaves with as little money as he came in with.
That's
And
what's
so
up.
if he wins, if the house doesn't win, you're I mean, it's a mutual agreement. Like you
Right? No,
the,
that's real.
her time for their money, and it should be a great time. It should feel like it's effortless. It should
Yeah,
feel like it you know you came in with a set amount of money, and if you don't spend all of that money, well, you're kind of winning, right? You're kind of winning when
yeah,
you get home, and there's a roll of ones in your pocket. Ah, shoot, you could have got another lap dance. You could have tipped a dancer at the stage. So I I see it as a game, you're enjoying my company, but I'm not I I don't ever want to just take somebody's money because that
yeah.
happens too. Some guys, they come in, they're down on their luck, and they just, here's a beautiful woman that's willing to talk to them. Well, here's my money. And
Of
so so,
course,
so
seen it.
sometimes it can be a little greedy. It can
Yeah,
look
yeah,
like it's greedy. So,
yeah.
yeah. And
Okay.
I've known dancers to be greedy, and I've known customers to be greedy too. So some customers will come in and go, "Well, I tipped you this much money, so you have to hang out with me." So
Hmm.
it's a two-sided thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I've seen that where just a person's gone in and just kind of blew everything because
All of
they're
it.
down on the luck, and it's like, no, like you can't.
No,
No. Yeah,
no.
no. Like,
Yeah,
don't do that. No.
and usually they get targeted by the mean stripper or the nefarious stripper, you know. That
Yeah.
sometimes it's easy to spot a guy that's down on his luck like that. I can tell you that I have a certain type when I am on the prowl.
Okay.
So,
Well, you don't do it anymore. So what is it? What was it?
well, I actually love the hard class the blue collar working man that's he probably has either a pony keg or a fat tire around his waist, you
Okay.
know.
Oh
Little
yeah, I know it. I know what you're
a
talking
little
about.
bit. He can't run away from me, you know. He might get out of breath. I like those guys.
Okay.
I like to see. I like to if somebody comes in a herd, I like to try and like get the weakest of the link. You know, if you've never been there in the strip club, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect for me to play with. But he's not my target. My target will be like the second in command. So I'm
Okay.
going to play with the newbie. I'm going to be like, "Oh, you've never been here before. Oh, you've never
Yeah.
seen a pair of boobies before, have you?" And I'll play with him, and then I'll like elbow jab one of the leaders of the pack, and we'll just
Yeah.
start having discussion, and we'll start making inside jokes about his friend that's never been to a strip club. And then it's a whole climate. It's a whole like it's an atmosphere that makes you want to be there, makes you want to come back over and over again.
Oh
So
my goodness.
it's it's a ploy. We're like
Yeah.
cougars in there. We're jumping on
That's
perspective.
oh my gosh. That's crazy. I've experienced that. I've been in that group where the newbie has been. That is
What
crazy. That is
were
crazy.
you the newbie?
No. Oh no.
No, no. See,
No. No. No.
see,
No.
see,
Yeah.
see.
No.
We would have had inside jokes. We would have like
Yeah.
been picking, you know, and and then we would have been following him around trying to find out where his wallet and his phone went
Oh
to.
yes, like that's enough. Like come on, come on.
Yeah, yeah. Give me your keys.
Yeah.
Only one. The leader is driving, which will usually be the DD, is you
Hmm.
know him or the second command. And if you pick on the person who's not drinking in a strip club, oh, he's gonna have fun too. He's gonna stay longer. Your girlfriend, they're gonna make money, and if you can get a girl that has friends in the strip club, then there'll be multiple girls hanging out with a bigger crowd of. I can handle a crowd about 35.
Wow.
Yeah. that's
Sheesh.
that's the max. So I can entertain 35 individuals at one time at a birthday party. So that's my max.
Okay.
It, but in smaller little groups, it's going to be 5 or 6 people. So you're going to have to like focus on multiple people,
Right.
and you
Right.
have to have really good listening skills at that moment.
Oh wow. Damn. I mean, you
It's a
seem
lot.
like
It's a lot of things going.
you seem like a true professional. You seem fun too. Like I would have fun
Oh,
in a club you worked at. Or
I've gotten in so much trouble at the strip club. I when the strip club would be dead and it'd be like a $13 night,
yeah.
I'm playing things like the floor is lava. I'm scaring people. I'm having we played charades. We'll play Cards Against Humanity. The bosses hate it, so we're trying to like do it and like have fun. Yeah, it working at a place should not be boring. It should be you should have fun and you should enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah. Agreed.
Always.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. So how long has it been since you stopped doing it?
Let's see. It's been a year, a full year. It was not September, but the September before. So it's been more than a full year
Okay. 2020?
since I yeah,
Oh, okay.
2021. 2021 is when
Okay.
I yeah. No,
Oh,
yes,
so
2020 is
yeah,
sorry.
2020. Yeah, yeah.
This new year is just killing me. It's
I
really
was like
killing me.
2021. That's been a
Yeah.
couple months.
Yeah. No, 2020. It during the pandemic, everything just shut down, and
Hmm.
so when it shut down, I was like, well, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. And it was one of those turning events that I'd already been 23 years in, and I didn't
Yeah.
know if I didn't know where I was going to be. I was a waitress and a dancer, and I was I was on the way out. I was
Right.
definitely tired of young drunken people. So,
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna ask you, like, what you didn't get tired of, like, the environment
oh
at
yeah.
some point?
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. Uh, because I didn't have to drink, and because I didn't participate in other people's nightlife extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got a little tiring because you're either chasing somebody down for money, you're getting slobbered
Mm,
on. There's a lot of it does take a toll.
yeah.
You get tired, you don't want to be there. And once you get into that mindset where you don't want to be there, then everything is just miserable. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be my year. I don't know if I'm going to oh, excuse me. I
No,
don't know
no
if I'm
worries.
gonna I don't know if I'm gonna I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I knew I was basically transitioning on my way out.
Okay.
And when the club closed down, we were the first to close down. Strip clubs just we didn't want anything to happen to us. So the bar, the club, the whole nightlife of Denver just shut down.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. So when it shut down, my co-host, Mr. J from Next on Stage One,
Yeah.
he contacted me and he's all like, "Hey, would you like to do a podcast about action figures?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd like to do a podcast about action figures." And I said, "Jay, would you like to do a podcast about strippers?" And he's all like, "You know what? I could totally do a podcast about strippers because he has 20 years, 20 plus years in the industry,
Really?
and he was my old boss.
Oh.
So so we so we would hang out and do all kinds of stupid nerd shit together, and then manage strippers for private parties,
Yeah.
and then we'd run off and do private parties, come back, hang out, play video games,
Oh, that's
watch.
cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
oh yeah, we had a whole bunch of times that we had such a great time. And so the nerd podcast we recorded, but
Yeah.
it doesn't get released. But Next on Stage One did, and it's been going on since September
Okay.
of 2021. Yeah, no,
2020.
2020.
2020. I
It,
got you.
it's been going on since 2020, and it's just been this absolute fantastic thing that I didn't know that I needed.
Yeah.
And as I get to hang out with who one of my good friends, Jay, we hang out for about 5 hours. We talk strippers and we talk nerd shit all of the time, and it's just this thing that we have to do, and it's
That's cool.
great. And he has such a different perspective than I do. He has like this whole well, he was a male dancer, so
Uh-huh.
it's not the same as being a female dancer. And
Yeah.
it's just great that we can hang out, that we can have all of these open discussions.
That's cool. Yeah, I had a buddy, because I'm in the military, and he was in the military, and he danced on the side, and
Yeah,
he would come to work, and he would tell me, he's like, Rob, you should consider it. Like, it,
you should do it because you're
man,
in shape, you're
this,
young.
yeah,
Yeah, you
this,
got
and
this.
I'm not young, I'm old. This, and this. It's like this, and this, and man, I get so much ass, and this, I get so much money. You should try it. And I would sit and I would ask him questions like, so how, like, what is it like? And he's just like, man, they love it. They love it. You just put the little thing around your fucking dick and then just go to town. And I was like, huh. So I thought about it, but then I didn't end up doing it. But I don't know. I was intrigued
You
by
got
him
close, you
doing it.
got
I
close,
did get
yeah.
close. I did, because of what he was saying in regards to like the money, and just he said it was fun too. So I was like, oh, that's cool, man.
Oh, women who go see male dancers are crazy. They
Yeah.
are just like screaming like they've seen the Beatles. They're just wah! And it's like Peggy Bundy going in to the strip club and losing her wedding ring down Tarzan's pants, you know.
Yeah.
They're
Throwback.
wild. They are. They're really wild. And yeah, the money's fast, but you don't um you're doing even less work for the amount of money. You don't have to
Yeah.
work as hard. It's still hard work because you have to have you do choreograph sets, and you have to
Hmm.
spend all kinds of money on your outfit, and you got to make sure that it if the thong doesn't fit, you have to have a customizer to make you a customized thong. It's
Wow.
it's a lot of it's a lot of uh-oh.
Oh,
Your
what happened?
camera has been disabled due to slow internet connection. We're still recording. I just can't see you.
Oh, I can see you. That's crazy.
Okay, okay, okay. So keep on going. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, and so, and so there's a lot of interesting things that guys go through, but they basically show up, do do their song set, and
Uh-huh.
then have a couple of drinks, and then that's it. They're done. Or they do a party.
Yeah.
It's not as it's not like you're going in there for a 6-hour shift. You're just going
Right.
in there, you're the feature, and then you're done and you leave. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of money if you're young and beautiful. So much money.
Yeah.
You just have to have the willpower to do it.
Right. So you said you managed strippers, whatever. Do you still do that?
No, no, that was back in 2000, like 2008, when I
Oh,
worked
okay.
for Jay, and basically I was his Robin, his Ed McMahon to the company.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
was somebody that he could rely on, because crazy things
I can
always happen
imagine.
when you're running, when you're managing a crew of like 6 to 8 dancers, female
Yeah.
dancers, and then you've got you got your male dancers, which we really didn't we had them on call, but we didn't have they weren't the bulk of the business.
Yeah. Oh, what happened?
So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
You ever thought about like opening your own club
No,
or
God,
something?
no.
You
Oh
would be so
gosh,
good at it though.
no.
Like you
I,
would be so good at it.
I would be a good hostess. I would not be good at business or yeah, I've
You
always
think that?
I'm good at managing strippers.
Yeah.
I'm not good at like the bar. I'm not good at handling money. I actually don't even like handling money unless it's my own money.
Okay.
I just yeah, it's your money. You tip me how you want, kind of thing. And it but it's I would not want to do that. There's a lot of money in it, but
Yeah.
you have to know how to manage people, because it's more of people person kind of thing. And you never
Yeah.
know what issue one woman is going to have, let alone 30 women on a night.
Yeah.
Like
Well, yes.
if it,
Wow.
that's a lot of cats. That's a lot of
Yeah.
different ideas going on, and anything can happen. Anything. And then you add alcohol, and then you add guys,
Hmm.
and then you add
Yeah.
guys on alcohol. I mean, you're just asking for trouble there.
Yeah.
Good on
I think you
people who
should.
can.
You should. I think you should do something like managerial, like your own some kind of agency because you have the experience. You are a people person. Just like talking to you now, I can just. You're so easy to talk to, and I mean, you people can gravitate to you. You should
Yeah.
do something in regards to the field for. I don't
Uh,
know. That's my opinion.
I I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm now just talking about it. I'm
Hmm.
telling my stories. I'm interviewing people. I'm having a great time with the podcast, and
Yeah.
it's just a really good time just to relive those heyday. Back
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I was in high school. Those
Yeah.
kind of things. It's kind of fun and showboaty, but in reality, there's just so many good stories. There's so many just fantastic people out there that get a bad rap. Strippers
Yeah.
get a bad
Oh
rap.
yeah. They do most definitely.
So so that's really what me and Mr. J are trying to do. We're having stories, we're having a good time, and we're kind of dispelling some of those myths that you hear all of the time.
That's cool. I'm gonna listen to an episode tomorrow on the way to work.
I
So,
highly recommend
oh no, I
that.
will. I'm gonna let
No,
you know
no,
right now.
I'm
I
gonna
am.
I'm gonna recommend the episode with Denver Doll, the sex doll
Okay.
company. Where we
Oh.
yeah, oh, it's a fun one. Brian from Denver Doll came into the studio and he talked all about his sex dolls, and I'm me and my husband are going to talk to him tomorrow night, and we're going to do some video of his sex dolls tomorrow night. So
Oh.
yeah,
Where you gonna
yeah.
post
Oh,
that
not
at?
I'm gonna try and get some B-roll just for the Twitter feed and just for,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
I'm gonna be on
It,
there and I'm gonna see it.
it's I'm not gonna like be playing with the doll. I might slap one,
No, no, yeah.
I might get in there and like stick my finger in its mouth, but like the the stories that we get and the people we get to talk to are some of the most amazing people, and it's a lot of fun.
Damn, that's awesome. That stuff is interesting to me too, because it's like, especially that, because those things are
Especially that.
pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah, those they're
Yeah.
pricey,
Yeah.
and people like love them, and people fall in love with them. Like that's crazy. I gotta check it out.
The whole story he was military
Okay.
and or yeah, he was military, and so or he was oil rig, one of the two, I can't
Uh
remember.
huh.
And he would be away from the house all the time. So when he would come home, he he wanted just to be able to relieve pressure
Yeah.
uh, of an inanimate objects and not bother his wife or girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. And so he got one, and it showed up like a Christmas, like a Christmas tree in the box and everything. And uh, he he said it was very interesting, and he kind of got a little attached to it. And his girlfriend said, "Hey, um, she better start making some money. She bet I can't just have her just like hanging out in the house because he put like a wig on her, like some clothes on her, had her standing up against a wall or something. It was kind of, he said it was kind of creepy, but he really enjoyed it. And so it's an interesting perspective on why somebody would choose a sex doll. Why
Yeah.
would somebody need that even though they were in a relationship? So I
Right.
asked a whole bunch of dumb questions.
Oh man, I want to talk to him so bad. I got
I'll s- I'll
man.
send you his information. He's on Instagram.
Okay, please,
So
ma'am.
yeah,
Oh yeah, I can't
I
wait to
will.
for you to put up the B roll. Oh, that's gonna be
Oh
cool.
yeah, I'm gonna slap it like I do um uh fertilizer at Walmart. You just slap in the bag.
I thought I
I
was the
just
only one
want
that
to know.
does that.
I just want to know how jiggly is jiggly.
That's crazy. That is funny. So you said you're married.
Yes,
How long have you been married?
I'm. So I've been married 6 years now, but have been in the relationship with my husband for 10. And I
Okay,
met
so
him
he
at the
met
strip
you.
club. At the
Okay,
strip
awesome.
club, yeah.
All right.
So
How
it
was
can
that
um in the beginning it
for
was
him?
well, for him, I'm kind of weird. So I'm kind of I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of weird. I he basically we met. I wasn't dressed as a stripper when I first met him.
Mhm.
I came up to the bar. He was sitting at the bar, and he had like a 6 inch mohawk on his head and
Okay.
no facial hair. And I just sat down next to him because, well, I like a good pregame alcoholic beverage before I start
Okay.
sometimes. So I
There
sat
you
down
go.
next to him. I'm chatting with the bartender. He starts chatting with me. I look at this as an introduction of getting my night started. And he goes, "Well, would you like a drink?" Absolutely, I'd love a drink, thank you. I'm gonna turn down a drink, guys. And so we just kind of hit it off, started talking, and then I was like, "Well, I gotta go get ready for work." He's like, "Oh, where do you work?" I was like, "Here." He's like, "Oh, are you a dancer?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm a dancer." So I go in the back room, get changed, put on my makeup. I come back out, go to talk to him, and it was like he didn't even know who I was. Like I was a completely different person talking to him. So yeah, it's been an interesting like getting to know one another from the strip club because at first it's all like, oh, this is just a guy I'm just going to make money off of. And then
Yeah.
he just kept coming back in. We built a rapport. We talked to one another, and over time, it sort of happened. And so
Okay.
I don't recommend it, but if it happens, make sure you know the person before you get involved with them. That's
Right.
all.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
make
Because
sure that they're not married, you
of course, of course.
know.
I was wondering what his perspective was, like how he felt with you dancing, and just
Oh,
you know.
so there's a rule in the strip club. If your significant other works at the strip club, do not go to the strip club and see them
Okay.
dance. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
I'm
It's it
nah. Yeah.
it you'll really understand how jealous and possessive you can get, especially if you're the dancer watching a stripper come up to your husband at the strip club.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if she's a dirty stripper.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
And she doesn't know that it's your husband. So,
Oh.
it's definitely a faux pas if you bring some people are cool with it. Some people
Yeah.
are very into watching their significant other entertain other people. But
Hmm.
if you don't know, then you don't know. So once it happens and you feel that jealousy, it can really definitely late night conversations will happen.
Oh yeah. I can only imagine.
and and if you know her as a stripper before you date her, you can see you can gauge a stripper. You can see
Yeah.
if she's slutty, or she's wild, or she drinks a lot. They're probably going to be red flags. If you take off the rose colored glasses, you can tell
Right.
a
Right.
little bit about somebody, just like she'll be able to tell a lot about you beforehand.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm glad it worked out for you and your husband.
So am I.
Yeah. So what's the before we go? I've already had you for an hour. What's give me a crazy story that you've experienced. I know you have a lot, but one that just
I'll
pops in your head.
I'm gonna tell a story that I tell every other podcaster.
Okay.
All right, because it was season 120, episode 24. So it's
Okay.
on my podcast if you want to hear more of this story.
And
But
I will.
so one time I got hit with a chair in the strip club
Yeah.
a
I know you
as
mentioned
a
that. I was
stripper. So I tell
what?
this story over and over again because it's eye catching, right? And
Uh
because I
huh.
want you guys to understand what I go through. So it was a couple of years ago, and I'm getting ready. It was daytime to nighttime, so I'm working as a nighttime dancer,
Okay.
and it's the beginning of the shift change. So I have my drink. I was sitting at the bar, hanging out with people, and I get called up on stage, and I'm wearing my favorite blue outfit. My I'm wearing my boots. I'm ready to rock and roll at 7. I'm there. I'm there early. I'm like, this is gonna be a great night. I go up on stage, and the stages are 1, 2, and 3, and they're like a triangle. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
stage
Yeah.
2 is over by the DJ booth. Stage 1 is who's ever on stage 1 picks the music. So if
Okay.
she's into rock and roll or rap or whatever her music is, that's the
Yeah.
music I'm dancing to. So I'm on
Okay.
stage 3 in the middle of the strip club. And so I'm on stage 3 on the middle of the strip club, and I get up there and I'm dancing, and they've got these terrible stripper poles that are like this thick, and they're not real stripper poles. They're just something to hold on to. And all of the stages are they're up high, but they're short.
Uh
So
huh.
so there's not much headroom unless you're short like I am.
Okay.
And so I'm up there and I'm dancing, and there's one customer at my stage. And I was like, all right, well, it's not going to be a big deal because it's the beginning. And I'm
Yeah.
dancing. And this guy, all of a sudden, he starts doing a drum solo because the music is playing is Fleetwood Mac. So
Okay.
he is jamming out. He's got the hi hat. He's he's having a grand old time sitting at my stage, not tipping me a dollar, taking up my space. And
Ah.
I was like, all right, this motherfucker. All right. So song number 2 comes on. I was like, okay, I've got to make $1. I got to make $2 off of him now. Bare minimum, once per person per song that's at my stage.
Yeah.
Bare minimum. You're there. At least throw me a couple of bucks. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
so I get undone and I'm there in my G string and my heels and I'm smiling. I get down on my knees and I go, "Hi, how's it going?" in my nice customer service voice, because I'm gonna woo this guy. I'm gonna make sure that this guy gives me his money.
Yeah.
So he looks up at me with these crazed eyes and he grabs me by my head and he pulls me down to the bar, the lip bar of the stage. And I'm like, what in the
Yeah. What
hell?
the hell?
What how dare you put your hands on me? Well,
Yeah.
maybe it's just a miscommunication because it,
Yeah.
whatever. So I pull up, he grabs me by my hair and he pulls me back down. All right, motherfucker, it is game on. I take the palm of my hand and I hit him as hard as I can over and over again into his ear. Like just I'm my head's down, I can't see anything, and I'm just wailing on this guy until he lets me go. I get up, I grab my clothes, I grab my drink, and I start just like fuck you. I yell all of the profanities. Like, don't you ever put your hands on me. Don't you ever put your hands on another stripper. You can hear me over the music.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what's going on. Customers are watching. I get down, tits out, tits up, and I'm walking away from this guy, walking away from the stage. And I got my Moscow Mule, my little drink in my hand. And I'm like, fuck that guy. And I'm just like, cack, 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 cack. How dare he put his hands on me? I look over my shoulder and this guy is running straight at me. I throw my drink at his chest. I run in stripper heels. I jump and land on the couches where we do lap dances. And I
Yeah.
put my arms up over my face and he slams a chair down on my face. He slams
What
it
in
straight
the
down on me.
hell?
I blocked it with my forearms, but there was a customer and a dancer that was next to me. The
Yeah.
customer had pushed the dancer out of the way and got hit with the same chair on his head, on his forehead.
Damn.
The guy threw 3 chairs that night. um, the bouncers didn't beat him up. The doorman he the doorman was all the way across the club, so he wasn't there in time
Yeah.
for to stop the interaction. The DJ, not really his thing to stop a fight. I mean, he's just
Yeah.
gonna get in there and go whoa, 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 but he's not really gonna bust heads or anything. That's not
Right.
his job. And so when I found out that they weren't gonna beat him up, they asked me, well, what do you want to do? I was like, well, I want to go home. And they didn't beat him up and they didn't kick him out at that
What?
point. They didn't they sequestered him over
Wow.
next. The reason being is because he was fucking the bartender. It was one
Wow.
of her it was one of her side pieces, and the
Mm.
the guy's name, I shit you not, the guy's name, his name is Tarzan.
What? Can you see me?
Yeah.
Is my camera
Yeah, I can see you. I can see you. Yeah,
on?
yeah, yeah. That
Tarzan.
was his nickname, and I kid you not, I was so angry that they didn't beat him up, that they didn't call the cops, that nothing happened. They just She paid for his cab ride home, and then that was it. And
Wow.
I went home. I was like, I'm done. I got bruises on
Yeah.
my arms. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Let me go home. I didn't stay.
Damn.
Yeah, I was angry. I was angry.
As you should have
I
been.
was I was a riling ball of like, like a chihuahua where they get
Yeah.
all, you know, just and at that point, it ruined my whole night. It was one of those
Yeah.
crazy stories that just it happens. I mean, like it shouldn't happen, but it happened to me.
That's crazy. Did you stay at that club?
Oh yeah, I stayed at that club for more than 10 years. That was
Wow.
basically my home club. Yeah.
Wow. Did he knock your? Was that when you got your tooth knocked out?
No, that was another
Oh,
that's for another day,
oh
darling.
yeah. That's when I get you. That's when I get you back on here.
That's how I hook you and then like
Oh, oh
reel
yeah.
you
You got me.
in. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh no.
I
Yeah. You
got
got me.
You got to give you a little bit of pizzazz and a little bit of showmanship, but you can't give them everything. That's why
Oh
you
my
guys. That's
gosh.
why you got to come listen to the show. You got
Oh,
to
I'm most
check us
definitely.
out. You got to
Most
join in the
definitely.
conversations.
Oh, I will. I will. I'm a plug you. I'm a spread the love on your show. And speaking of your show, go ahead and plug it right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to welcome you to listening to Next on Stage One, Denver's #1 adult entertainment nightlife podcast, where we talk about chairs, drama, strippers, and everything in between. My name is Pixie, and my co host is Mr. J, and we have a fantastic time. You can find us on any player available because I am a social media menace.
Hey,
And if you
hey,
want to
and there you
follow
have
me,
it.
and if you want to follow me on social media, it's Pixie at Next on Stage One.
There it is on every
There
platform.
it is. Every platform.
Right on. Right on. Well, Miss Pixie, my cheeks are sore from smiling so much.
I
I
know.
appreciate the time. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna get you back on here, most definitely, because you're so much fun.
Well, thank you, Rob.
Yeah,
Thank
you're so
you.
much fun.
Yeah,
You
this
have
is
a
this
you
is
have
great.
yeah. You said so I'm gonna check you guys out. I'm telling you, I'm gonna listen to it on the way to work, and when I get to work, I'm gonna message you on Twitter, be like, hey, I listened to that episode, so and so and so and
That
so.
episode's good. Yeah,
I
yeah.
got you.
Highly recommend Sex Dolls. The name of the show is called Guy and Sex Dolls. So
Okay, most
it's
definitely.
this season. Yeah, it's really good.
Okay. All right, yeah, I'm gonna listen to it in the morning, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna message you. So just be prepared.
I'm I'm waiting. I'm waiting
Okay,
with phone in hand.
there it is. All right. So Pixie, well, thank you for your time. I had so much fun, and my cheeks are like legit sore from smiling so damn much. And until the next episode, when I get you back on here, thank you so much.
Well, thank you too, Rob. You have a great day.
You too. Bye. And there you have it, folks. That was my episode with special guest Pixie, who has 20 plus years in the adult entertainment industry, has been doing it since she was 18, recently retired, is now a successful podcast host where she and her co-host Mr. J on their main podcast go over what it's like to be in the adult industry. So I hope you all enjoyed that. I hope you learned some things. So for those of you who are strip club connoisseurs, just know that there's motives and agendas from all the dancers in there. Some are more, kind-hearted, and some are cutthroat, and they just see you as a target. And Pixie said, you guys are all prey up in there, so just be careful. And just be careful. So you know how it works in regards to the ins and outs. You know how some ladies get down. You know how they differ. So I hope you enjoyed that episode as I did. I had a good time talking to Pixie. She's real fun, real down to earth. My cheeks were legit sore from smiling the whole time. But if you want to check her out, make sure you follow her at Pixie at Next on Stage One, which is her main show that she referred to with co-host Mr. J. And she also hosts another one, which is Pixie Project Podcast, or at Pixie Project Pod. Tongue twister. Say that 5 times fast. At Pixie Project Pod on Twitter. So you can follow her there. At that one I just said, the tongue twister, and Pixie at Next on Stage One, Denver's #1 adult entertainment podcast. So if you enjoyed that episode, please make sure you rate it. You give me 5 stars on whatever platform you're listening to this on. Go into the comments and give me some feedback. Let me know what you thought of what you think of the episode. Let me know your thoughts on the episode, and please make sure you share it. You put your friends on. You tell your friends about me. And if you're interested in watching the episode, go to youtube.com/Westcoast Rob. It's there too. And if you watch it there, please make sure you hit that like, that subscribe button, and comment. But other than that, it's a wrap for episode 27. Thank you all for listening and tuning in. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at YeahDat Podcast. Make sure you go on there. You stay up to date with what's going on. You like the videos. You like the shorts. You see the little clips. And you can do the same on YouTube with the shorts. You can do the same on TikTok. Hit me up on Twitter at Westcoast_Rob. Slide in the messages. Let me know what you think of the show. Give me any ideas of what kind of guests y'all want to see on the show. Because I'm open to ideas and different types of guests. So if there's a certain type of guest or somebody you want to see on the episode or on the show, let me know, and I'll do my part to reach out. But we'll go from there. So thank you all again for listening. Again, follow at YeahDat Podcast on Instagram, at youtube.com/WestCoastRob to watch the episodes, to watch the shows. And make sure you follow Pixie at Pixie Project Pod or at Pixie Next on Stage 1 on Twitter. If you want to start your own podcast, make sure you go to the show notes and you click on the riverside.fm link and the captivate.fm links. Start your own podcast there. And if you do, hit me up so I can be a guest. YeahDat. But that's a wrap for episode 27. Thank you all for listening once again. Until the next episode, it's the homie West Coast Rob signing out. YeahDat.